It's time for the Big Show with Andy Gallo. Well, welcome to the Big Show. I'm Andy Gallo, and today we've got Branded with us, Paul Staggs and Robert Well. How you doing, guys?
Good. Thank you for having
y'all.
us.
How are you?
By the way, we saw y'all yesterday.
Yeah.
At church,
At the big church.
and it was good.
It's a good Sunday. It
Oh
really
yeah,
was.
absolutely. Well, anytime that y'all are there, it's dynamite. You know.
So y'all haven't had good church in 4 years. So.
Don't say that. Pastor Allen will get a hold of all of us here. We'll be in trouble.
There you go. He's a
For
good
sure,
guy.
for sure.
Good guy.
Well, just looking, and this was easy for me because all I had to do was go to the internet and type in Branded, and I got your bio here, so I didn't have to sit down and do any big research or.
Oh, I hope you got the right one.
Well, I did too. I don't know. It says right here that you used to work at the Carney, right? You were a Carney.
Yes, sir. I was
I'm just
putting
joking.
together the Ferris wheel.
He was a barker out there.
In the
That's
park. Okay. Oh, that's great. Well, you guys, man, y'all have been so successful. Been together about 20 years, I guess.
22 years now.
22. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, how did you get together? What brought you two together?
Well, we both had our solo ministries going and gotten to the stage where my kids really wanted to stay home, be a youth group, and and they couldn't be out on the road with me and get in youth group and stuff like that. So I thought I was going to have to just kind of shut it down and do something else. But the same thing was kind of happening with Robert.
Yep.
The kids wanted to stay home. So so we thought at least for accountability purposes, because there's a lot of distractions out there.
Yeah.
With that, we'd give it a shot and try it out and see how it all just kind of jihad together, and it just seemed to work.
Yeah. How did y'all meet up though? How did that happen?
Church.
Church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Was it
playing
Mangamoks?
Mangamoks. Yeah, Mangamoks Baptist Church in Houston.
Okay.
I was playing guitar for the worship team, and the guy goes, "Man, we really need a bass player." And Paul goes, "I can play bass." He just showed up there that day. Boy, had never picked up a bass before, but he'd been playing guitar, so he just showed up and played.
I figured, it's 3/4 of a guitar. So anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just play the top four strings
there
of
you
a
go.
guitar, and you
Yeah.
got it made in the shade.
you
I
go.
guess. I don't know.
so we played. We did that for a little while, and then we got asked to join this band together years ago. And I'm trying to think. No, I'll get all my bands backwards here.
Kingdom Road?
No, before that we were was it Jordan River?
Yeah, Jordan River Band.
Jordan River Band out of First Baptist Houston, and we had a guy that basically taught Billy Gibbons how to play guitar from ZZ Top.
Oh, really?
Except he had gotten radically saved and just never wanted to pick up a guitar ever again. Never wanted to play music, and then he found out he could still play the same thing. He could just play it for Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And things changed, and we did really well. And then we started playing with Kingdom Road, and I guess that was years later. And then that kind of fizzled out. How bands do, but we realized how good our voices blended together early on. But Paul decided to start his own and did a couple of albums on his own. So I was writing at the time, so I wrote an album and ventured out from there. And from there, I did another, and then I did another. And then we realized, as he said, it was so much easier with two people on the road, accountability.
Right.
And when he lived in Conroe, right down the road from me, I lived on the north side, he lived on the south side. So it was real easy. Just pick up each other and go. And so we did that for a lot of years. And then we started we met different band members of different groups over the years. We had some play with us, some really good session players who could just read our stuff and chart it and show up and play, A session players. And then we kind of started putting different people together, kind of found out what worked for Branded. And, 22 years later, here we are. Now, you heard the whole group yesterday. Most of the time, it's just two of us, just acoustically going out nowadays, because it's the logistics of being on the road nowadays. We don't have a big tour bus and no place to sleep like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, of course, both of you been in music for a lot of years. You know, Paul, you started out.
Started out doing a bunch of youth camps and kids camps and stuff like that. And
Now, were you back? Is this back when you were a teenager, or is this?
no. I was probably in my 20s.
20s, okay.
And so that's what I was doing. And my kids would go to, 5 and 6 youth camps a summer. So they didn't hate that. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But,
So you've pretty much been in Christian music.
yeah, I've never really played secular
any
music.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah. But that's how a lot of bands start out. They start out playing some country music. If that's the line they're going, country music.
Yep.
And then kind of like.
Well, I had never really done country music till I met Robert. So.
Okay.
Yeah, Robert was singing and singing off the back of a horse and doing rodeos and stuff like that. And we had he had a dance to do down in Bastrop.
Bastrop, yeah.
And that was our first gig together. Is
The Cowboy Church
Bastrop.
dance.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah.
Wow.
And what was crazy is, and I was playing keyboard at the time, and just before we left, I got my thumb caught in the daggum door of the garage door for some reason, and so it was throbbing and stuff like that. But it just worked. So we just started doing some more stuff. I started writing a little more country, and
Right.
good song's a good song, whether it's country or whatever.
So the idea of doing the Christian country together was, the hats and the whole
Yeah.
thing like that. That was something y'all just said, this is probably going to be where it's going to work for us.
Well, Robert had been doing rodeos when he was younger,
Right.
And I was raised in the country,
Okay.
so it wasn't really that big of a leap.
Okay.
He started playing. He said, "Well, I don't know if I can do country." I said, "Dude, you're more country than I'll ever be." I was born and raised in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
He's born and raised in Warren, Texas.
You were an urban cowboy.
I was definitely an urban cowboy.
Yeah, you was an urban
Even though we
cowboy.
lived on the outside of Houston, where all the rodeo guys were.
Right.
It was like
Well, it was so long ago, it kind of was the country.
it was the country.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad.
Now it's
moved
inner
us-
city.
Yeah. My dad moved us out where I-10 is now, where we lived.
Oh, yeah.
At 62. Moved us out to Spring Branch area, and there was little ranchettes out there at the time. Now it's
Yeah.
now it's so overgrown. Yeah, we don't go back there anymore.
Yeah, believe it or not, back, I guess I was 20 years old. I worked off of 1960 when it was Highway 6.
Yeah.
Once you got out
Yeah.
past, what was it, 249, I guess it
Jackrabbit
was? Or what-
Road.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
And I worked out there when I was like a 16, 17 years old in construction. And there was nothing out there.
Yeah.
It was pasture land. There was cattle out there. It was just a totally different.
Quick trip back in those days.
Oh, absolutely. No lights, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you did play some country music, though.
I did. I played with some other bands. I enjoyed playing and singing, but my heart's always been in Christian music. I got saved when I was 13 years old, and by the time I was 14, I was already playing guitar, and I started playing, and then we started a quartet at the church, and that kind of just escalated from there to different groups and singing with different people. That's where my heart has always been, that sound. And I thought, man, contemporary Christian music has a place.
Yeah.
It just didn't have a place for me.
Right, absolutely.
And so I like the way that, I like the country sound. I'm a fan of steel guitar and twin fiddles.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Bob Wills.
yeah,
So,
which is who my granddad played with.
did he
Yeah,
really?
yep.
Okay. Who was your granddad?
Robert William Welch, same name as mine.
Same. Okay.
I was named after him. But he was playing back in Limestone County up in Groesbeck, Texas. Well, apparently they were out of Limestone County at the time. And I hear all these stories. Everybody go, "Oh, my granddad played with Bob Wills." I've heard more people that have heard that
Bob
story.
Wills must have been a real jerk.
Apparently so.
He couldn't keep a band together.
Yeah.
Because I know of 100 people that
Yeah.
we talked to.
Yeah.
It's because he kept saying, "Take it away."
Yeah.
So then,
There you go.
Yeah. Somebody thought I'd take him away.
Yeah.
take it away. All right.
But when Bob started traveling more and playing outside of Limestone County, my granddad had 13 kids, so he couldn't go anywhere anymore.
No.
So he had to stay at home.
That's a bunch of youngins right there.
Yep.
I'll tell you. Well, I want to get y'all to play something.
Sure.
What do y'all want to do? All right, we've got Branded here, and they're going to go ahead and do a song. What was it again? Second Chances?
Second Chances. Yep.
Okay.
We just I think it's being released to radio this month.
Okay.
So
Like tomorrow.
tomorrow, really? Cool.
So. As she holds her mama's hand a little tighter, her daddy paces up and down the hall. Then her tiny smile, it gets a little wider when the doctor says, I think we got it all. She needs a God of second chances when her back's against the wall. All need a God of second chances when there is no chance at all. As he stumbles from his chair into the kitchen to pour another bottle down the sink, he yells up at the sky, is someone listening? When he swears he'll never take another drink. He needs a God of second chances when his back's against the wall. All need a God of second chances when there is no chance at all. People need a hand to hold on to, need to know someone who cares. As long as there's a God in heaven, always have a prayer. 'Cause we need a God of second chances when her back's against the wall. We all need a God of second chances when there is no chance at all. At all.
Man, that's some good stuff there. That is good stuff. Thanks for listening to The Big Show with Andy Gallo. Tune in next time. This has been a Unicap Media presentation.